Animation Triad. I'm your host today, Teddy D. With me, as always, Mr. Stewart.
Yo!
Miss Lish.
Hey!
And today we're going to be continuing on our journey of metal!
Yeah!
With a fun little anime. Well, fun for some of us. Detroit Metal City. I know. Finally, we're in something.
Yeah! But not really. So, just as a heads up, as the year comes to an end, so does our season of Animation Triad, and we hope you've enjoyed this ride. And we are having a special poll on our Facebook page. Follow the link below. We will have it down there. Follow the link, and you can find out how to vote for which of us do you think deserves the Golden Segway Award.
Me,
The one
obviously.
who has gone off topic the most.
Oh, that guy.
Or who, just has gone off the rocker for the most part. But vote below at our Facebook page on Animation Triad at Facebook. You can also see us on Twitter. If you want to post there, talk to us. Woo!
Yes. Ask questions. We are happy to answer them. We are happy to review things if you request them.
All right, and with that, let's rock on! Yeah!
So, in Detroit Metal City, let's talk about the plot here.
What plot?
Well,
It was there if you looked.
yeah.
I had to look really hard and there were a lot of things I didn't want to see.
Fair.
Sorry, the plot.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
Well, it's basically this boy from a, I would say maybe a country town.
Yeah,
in
small
Japan.
country town.
In
Just a
Japan,
small
wants
town boy.
living in a lonely world.
Yeah.
Born and raised in
South.
rural Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wanted to make his fame and fortune by going to the big city and getting a music career in
Pop music, basically.
pop music. Yes,
Very
basically.
happy pop
Very
elevator
happy
music.
music.
Yes.
And
Folksy.
he did it through metal.
Yes, he
Mm-hmm.
did not do well as a folksy, poppy singer.
Yes.
Mhm.
But he was highly successful as a metal artist.
Indeed.
As part of a metal band, but the thing about that was that he had to put on a character in order to convey his message of rock. He had to write music that he ordinarily wouldn't have wanted to write.
No.
Nope.
And this personality started to bleed off stage into his personal life.
Yes. The boy's name, I forgot to mention, my apologies.
Soichi?
Soichi
Yes.
Nagishi, I believe is Nagisha.
You can't blame me for the
Soichi
mispronunciation
and-
this time.
No.
Soichi N. Well,
Yeah.
Yes. He would, Suichi
Mm-hmm.
was a lover of nicer things, you know, the folksy pop music,
Romantic movies.
comedies and stuff like
yeah.
that.
all that stuff. But his alter ego, Johannes Krauser,
Krauser!
was a fan of, well, not that.
The opposite of that.
Yes.
Like punching puppies to death kind of thing.
Basically.
Yeah.
It should be noted that the band, Detroit Metal City, as it's called, or as it's commonly referred to, DMC, is a genre of, well, they fall under not just metal, but blackened metal.
Yeah, like shock metal.
Big time.
Yeah.
So they kind of dress like Kiss in a way,
Yeah.
Yes.
but they're more inspired by like black metal, Norwegian black death metal.
Yeah.
So a lot of theatrical stuff,
Yeah.
shock value. They've got a guy basically in almost a gimp suit on stage called Capitalist Pig,
Yes.
who he just berates and like
And
abuses. Beats
uses
up, yeah.
on stage, which is fine because the guy likes it and he respects that job and he does his best at it. So Capitalist Pig is actually a very interesting character.
He is. He takes pride in his work.
Yes. They had a whole episode devoted to him, which I actually thought was one of the better ones
Nice, yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's about enough about Capitalist Pig, though.
Yes.
Another character of importance is actually their manager.
Ooh, yeah.
Probably the only woman in the show who has any kind of power. And the unfortunate thing is she abuses the crap out of it. She
Yeah.
not only wants them to be metal, but she wants them to be as horrible as humanly possible because it, quote unquote, gets her wet.
Yeah.
She uses that a lot.
She does.
She does like to talk about her nether regions quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm all for, sexual empowerment and everything, but I mean, there's plenty of hardcore porn that she could actually seek out that would meet her needs, rather than forcing these cinnamon rolls into this. And yet at the same time that she's trying to force them into this role, they could actually leave at any time.
True.
And yet they don't, because they don't want to give up the fame, is what
Only
I'm seeing.
one of them seemed to want to leave.
Yeah,
So-
Soichi, our main
Soichi,
character. Yeah.
But you were referring to it in the plural. So that, I mean, I'm...
The other guy in the beginning, I'm trying to remember, the one that wanted to do a metal song about curry rice. I don't remember his name, but
the
at
drummer?
first he seemed like he was maybe a nice guy and didn't really want to be there. But then later on... Yeah, I know. My impression of him changed very quickly.
Yeah.
But at first, I thought he was another one who didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
No.
I was very wrong.
I will say this. Not only does she threaten him, and I think one of the reasons he can't leave, initially, is because she's got those two bodyguards with her that force him into doing stuff, which, I gotta admit, they looked like clones of Freddie Mercury a little bit, which was kind of weird.
I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal.
There are worse things to look like.
Hey, Freddie Mercury is just phenomenal, and I love him, but that is something you see pop up in anime sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, Freddie Mercury will pop up in backgrounds and stuff, like caricatures of him in some anime, like Comrade High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually is a main side character.
Yeah. I mean, the guy had influence.
Yeah, awesome.
For me, those bodyguards looked like a one-hit wonder out of the 90s. I think it was the 90s, called...
Right Said Fred?
Yes. They sang I'm Too Sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, the thing that the bodyguards reminded me of, I never expected we'd be having such a conversation about the bodyguards, but here we are.
Right.
They actually reminded me of the ones that looked after Amber Sweet in Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh, yeah.
I can't feel nothing at all.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
They really reminded me of that, including a demanding diva, like the manager of the band, versus Amber Sweet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they reminded me of. And let's not forget the, moving on from the bodyguards onto a different character, let's not forget that, at least in the beginning, a focus of Soichi's attention was also this girl that he used to go to school with. The character Yuri Ayakawa?
Ayakawa, I believe.
Yes. And this was his love interest. They went to school together, they bonded over all the cinnamon roll things, all the sweet, lovable, wholesome things in this world. And she absolutely hated DMC. So he felt like he had to hide this part of himself from her. But at every opportunity, he's actually using it against her in disguise. Like, I know y'all are going to disagree with me, but I do feel like he was using it against her. The first time that his Krauser alter ego surfaced in front of her, he was in a record store. And it started off with the most altruistic of intentions. He was trying to defend her. And yes, honestly save his own ass.
Right.
But then as the show developed, it became more about feeding his pride and ego. And there were times where he didn't have to act that way with her. And chose to just try to apologize after, which makes me think he wasn't actually as remorseful as he claimed to be.
The interesting thing... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I think the thing with that was, I mean, Krauser's a part of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Where he tried to use Krauser for good, but then he would get way into this character,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, now he is Krauser, and then he would be like, oh God, what did I do? Where you get caught up in a moment.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's excusing his behavior, which I'm not prone to do.
Fair enough. In that regard, the funny thing is, he's actually described as a rageaholic in the summaries I've read of it.
Mm-hmm. And that
And-
makes sense.
Yeah, I think in some ways it's also... Well, let's put it this way. He has this inner desire to be a kind of pop star,
Yeah.
all right? And it goes nowhere,
Yeah.
all right? He is considered a failure. People tell him, oh, you're a great musician, but this stuff just it doesn't work
Right.
for you, all right? He finds his fame in DMC.
Yes.
He doesn't like it, but he takes pride in the fact that he's good in
Better
it.
than nothing.
It's better than
Right.
nothing. He doesn't like it at all. But deep down, part of him, his pride, is telling him, you are good at this. You are better than other people at this. This is what you are great at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in a way, Crowler is part of his like subconscious coming out.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, there's a whole paper here to be written on the superego and the id.
Yeah.
I think we actually talked about that a little bit off camera.
Yeah, we have. There's a lot to go on with
and
that.
I obviously fully support that view. He tried, and that's actually where I find his behavior inexcusable. I'm about to explain.
Mhm.
But building off of what Stuart just said, they were both part of him, and he always tried to act like they were separate. He always tried to act, oh, this horrible behavior isn't me. No, it is you. It definitely is you, and the sooner you take ownership of that, the sooner you're actually able to control it. And that's the thing. He wouldn't necessarily have had to give up being a shock metal artist if he didn't want to. But so that way it doesn't ruin his relationships, which it has.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to learn to master it, and the truth is, in the season that I saw, he never did.
Not really, no.
He did
I think
choose a
that's-
different path at the end of the season,
Yeah.
at the end of the series, but
Right.
he never took ownership of his other half, and I do... Sorry, for me that's unforgivable. You don't get to pass off your shitty behavior as being somebody else when it is very clearly attached to you.
Well, you could also look at it, in some ways it could be a sign of mental illness. I mean,
Yeah.
the way it would
Get
just
some
come out.
damn help!
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just one little, cup of acid away from becoming the Japanese Two-Face. I mean, come on, when you think about it, I mean, Harvey Dent in Batman, where Preston it was Big Bad Harvey who did all the bad stuff.
And you know what, though? Like, I agree
Mhm.
with you. The difference between Harvey and Soichi/Krauser
Mhm.
is that he knew exactly what he was doing. And you know what he did? He left it up to a coin. He'd flip a coin
That
to
was-
decide.
I'm talking about before he became Two-Face.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's where I'm making the comparison, because afterwards, yes, then he does that. He does have that.
Yeah.
But he took ownership of it. That's him growing and deciding, you know what? I never know which one's going to come out. I don't always want to know. So I'm going to let this external force decide for me, but I'm actually the one flipping the coin. So even though it appears to be out of my control, it's actually not.
That's actually a very interesting way of looking at it, and I think we need to bookshelf that conversation for another time, because that is actually something we could go into for well over the time we have right now.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, that
and
would
let
be
us
good.
know, actually, if that's something you want to see. Do you
Yeah.
want to see in-depth analyses
Of
of characters?
Good
of,
old-fashioned armchair psychology.
yes,
Darn right.
from people who are not professionals.
At all.
Let
Just
us know in the
fans.
comments below if this is something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, we want to know. We want
To
branch
be
out.
fair, I
Mhm.
do have a beard.
And I have a pipe.
So we're
And
close.
I actually did study psychology. I just don't have the degree. So
Yeah, you know.
mic drop,
Pipe drop?
pipe drop. I should be the one to
Yeah,
do
just
that.
do it
'cause
eventually.
I will. I will.
I know. Pipe drop.
This isn't very metal at all. Oh,
Oh.
that was
That was more metal than it was intended to be.
yeah.
It's
All right.
alright,
Well,
folks.
it's plastic.
All right, all right, all right.
It's ivory.
Oh.
Coin drop.
Alright. Okay,
Coin drop.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There we go.
There we
Okay.
go. Literally metal.
Woo! Well, copper, but whatever.
Woo! I
Metal.
mean,
No pun gun. I am safe.
You are. Well, wait,
Yeah.
we do have the pun gun.
What?
We do have the pun gun,
All
as
right.
always.
You know the rules, not
All
the
right.
face.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
Oh!
Joe!
We've made contact!
Again.
Indeed,
What
we're
the
getting better
fuck?
at this.
What the fuck?
Well, you just gotta keep the puns.
I would not go to the casino.
No.
Remember, whenever there's a pun, there's the pun gun.
Me and my big mouth.
Yeah, you know.
Alright. So you're
All
right, we should bench that for now, but
Yes.
then moving on.
Moving on, there is one episode I do want to talk about, which, in my opinion, well, there's two episodes, really, which I thought were the best in the series. As I mentioned earlier, there was the one focused on the capitalist pig character.
Yes.
And there was something about it where he basically Soichi tried to help him out and be like, listen, I want you to take center stage for the day because there's this girl you like, invite her to the concert and she can see that you're in this band. And he's like, okay, cool. But then hijinks happen and
Yes.
Crowler comes out.
Crowds are coming.
そんな歌でメスをやらなか飯本さん大丈夫かあいつ動かねえぞ
Yeah.
Capitalist pig is a
Yeah.
masochist. And he enjoys it. And he's just like, more please.
No
And the
shame
girl
in the
runs
game.
off.
Really?
And
Yeah.
at the end
Yeah.
of the episode, he's basically, Soichi comes up and she's like, I'm so sorry about this. He's like, you know what? It's fine. Because I gotta be true to myself.
Yes.
That is something I thought was gonna happen at the end of the series.
Right.
Right.
Which,
didn't, yeah.
not really.
No, in fact, I don't feel like Suichi really grew that much at all.
No.
There was one episode where he did use Krauser for good.
That was the next episode I really want to talk
Yes.
about because it was one of my favorites.
It was. It was probably the light in this darkness of poop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why
It
don't
was
you?
bad, and I could
Yeah.
go into all the reasons why, but
Right.
I'm trying to be nice.
What was it? 10 rapes per second or something was one
Yeah.
of their songs.
All the rapes, and again, not even that they were singing about it, though I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so that they were using sexual assault as a form of humor. Go hump this guy. Go do this. Go do that. I didn't like that they couldn't stand any woman with any kind of personality unless it was the manager. Like that one band, who was their rival band?
They were a punk band. I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and he
crap, I can't remember their name.
he hacks a loogie all over her face, and he's like, I love breaking strong women. I'm like, really? Because I would love breaking your face.
Yeah.
And I think I would be good
You
at
don't
it.
spit on people. Just as a rule of thumb, you don't
Yeah,
do
it's just
that.
that-
Right.
Yeah. That was where I was just like, no.
Strong women are like way hotter in bed. I'm just saying. We can cut that part.
Yes.
But
We're not cutting that part. No. We're keeping that.
But
fair enough.
But
Live
that
with your
episode.
consequences.
back to the evil for good.
Yes, the shining beacon of the entire fucking series.
Right.
Yes.
Soichi. Am I saying?
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm saying it wrong.
Krauser. We can just go with
Krauser.
Krauser.
Oh, no, Krauser is a separate character.
Yes, but he
Yeah.
uses Krauser. Krauser comes out.
The main guy
The main guy.
goes back home.
Mm-hmm.
And he discovers that his younger brother is a huge fan of Detroit Metal City and has been a problem for his parents.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's like, oh, I must undo the damage that I've done.
Right.
So Krauser is summoned from hell
クラウザーさんなんでこんなところに
今宵は満月貴様の思いが俺を地獄から呼び覚ましたんだ
Mm-hmm.
to visit the younger brother
Right.
and teaches him like, oh, I cannot stand boys who disobey their parents.
貴様家の手伝いもせず学校にも通ってないらしいな
はい 俺はクラウザーさんみたくなりたいんで
We just gotta
Yes.
show these. We
学校とか手伝いとかくだらんことしません
バカ野郎例えば牛の世話ベイベー全ての生きとし生けるものベイ制してベイベーこそ真の帝王だベイ
You just gotta see this.
Yes.
So
して草刈りこれは人の首をかっきるときに応用できるお前はこの気をもできないのだろう
なんで手際がいいんだ早すぎる
this is just.
If this was the series, it would have been better. But
Agreed.
here
Yeah.
you go.
I just love that part where he's trying to teach him math.
あるお店の売り上げが21万円でした店員さん3人で分けると1人当たりいくらもらえるでしょう
クラウザーさんが全員ぶっ殺して独り占めだ
まあ俺ならそうするけど一般的に考えると1人が7万円だよね
It's so refreshing
Yes.
given the rest
Oh, yeah.
of the series.
No, I
It
loved
is.
when he was like teaching him to do the tractor.
ぶつかるトラクターの運転これは様々な乗り物をジャックする時の運転技術を学べる
And just how accepting
Yes.
the parents were when they invited him to dinner.
ご飯もごちそうになった
あらクラちゃんナスの炒めたやつ好きなの
う
ね
まいちそうだ親を大切にしろよ
そしてその後
そうくんがおらんけど仕方ないわ
記念写真まで撮ったんだ
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it had been more of that.
Right.
It had so much potential.
It did.
Because, again,
Yeah.
this was something that Ted said off camera, but I feel like it really needs to be said here. The show, conceptually, was cool. It had so much potential.
Yeah.
But I personally feel that the execution squandered that potential all to shit. It was quite literally executed. Killed. Destroyed.
Mhm.
You already got me with the pun gun. You don't need to with the fake gun.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry.
But that's, that's really how
Yeah.
it read to me, is that it could have been so cool, and it just
No.
wasn't.
Well, there is
Yeah,
one other thing
yeah,
to
oh.
say about it. There is a live-action adaptation of this movie from 2008. Gene Simmons of Kiss has a cameo in it.
Oh.
Really all we have to say about this. Weird series. It could have been so much better. It really
Yeah.
could have been. And it has its moments here and there, but overall,
Few and
just,
far between.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I could recommend this, really.
I was
Right.
gonna say we should probably get to our final thoughts, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hated it. The first episode, I guess, was almost funny. I'm like, oh, you know what, this is
Yeah.
kind of weird, but it didn't really stay funny for very long. It just became unbearable, and I'm not gonna lie, I skipped every few episodes because I didn't see any plot development, and what I saw was still right. So, it wasn't for me.
I tried to get through the whole thing, and it gave me a headache after a while. It
Same.
really did. As I said, if they had focused more on him trying to utilize his character for good, because there are scenes where he does try, like when he's in the bathroom, like rocking out with the tambourine with that other band. That was awesome. That was really cool and funny. What follows wasn't. He did more of that, and I think it would have been good.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I just didn't care for it at all.
My final thoughts were kind of like how I felt about Dino Riders. Wonderful concept. Delivery just wasn't there. I didn't completely hate it, but I could see what the distaste is about. Check it out if you like metal. I'll give it a big
Let us know what you thought of the
Mhm.
the series. Did you love it? Do you agree with our assessments? Again, tell us in the comments below.
Are you a fan of Capitalist Pig? Tell us.
As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up. That really helps us out. Subscribe
please.
to our channel.
Mm-hmm.
Click the notifications bell so that way you get notified every time we upload instead of just occasionally. I don't know what he's pointing at, but
I think it's
somewhere.
over here.
It's
Somewhere
it's,
on this screen, find it, click it.
It's
Join
actually
us.
below, like by the description
Yes.
box. But chances are you might already know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, let us know what you thought of this review, what you thought of the series. And now, Stu, take it away with the rest of the awesome stuff that we have going on for this month and that we have going on Facebook
All
right
right.
now.
We mentioned it earlier, but we have a poll on our Facebook page, Animation Triad at Facebook. Just check that out. It's in the link below. And it is a poll to see which of the three of us deserves the Golden Segway Award? Who has gone off topic the most? Who has paid the most for the tangent jar? It is for you to decide. We watch the episodes, find out which one of us cannot keep our shit together, and vote. Yeah, I'm getting into character.
He really is.
I want you to tell me what we did, because we don't remember.
I think you need help for that. But follow the link below. Tell us what you think. We want to know.
Yeah, you better do it, because I'm a little worried he's gonna start spitting at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
So, follow the link below. Vote. Tell us what you think. And, of course, stay tuned for our next episode. Our Heavy Metal Christmas month continues with more awesomeness. Hopefully better than the last thing we just reviewed. But still, more awesomeness is on its way.
We will be reviewing, actually, Metalocalypse. So
Yeah!
to enjoy that, get ready, because it is going to be incredible. Alright, we will see you next time.
You're on Animation Triad.
Woohoo!
Awkward finger gun.
Awkward finger.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a